You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver. What the hell is that? Podcast.
Welcome everyone to Monday Night Raw. We are live. Oh no, we can't do that. We're not going to do that. Nope. We don't have. There are a few of us that are old and crotchety.
Guilty.
A few who are not entirely with it.
Guilty.
Little bit of dementia. So, I mean, maybe if you combined all of our terribleness, we would just be a poor man's less fit version of Vince McMahon. But let's not dwell on who has done what to whom and why we all deserve to die.
The McMahoneteers.
Yeah, let's not dwell on which one of us is the McMahoneteer or McMahonarino. Let's talk about things that aren't Vince McMahon, and the things that are not Vince McMahon is this podcast. You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriverpodcast. I know that you know this already because you clicked on the thing that said Pittsburgh Piledriverpodcast, not Cornette's cabinet of check out my wife's butt pictures. That's not what you clicked on. You clicked on the Pittsburgh Piledriverpodcast. This is not Ric Flair big dick swinging. This is quite the opposite. And we're not going to talk about Ric Flair or his hammer. We're going to talk some other things. Maybe. I don't know what's happening anymore. I'm sleepy and it's already gone off the rails. So welcome to the second episode this week of the Pittsburgh Piledriverpodcast. Tiger Bomb Tom is here. Beast of Legend is here. Hoot the Bard is here. And one half of the Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions, Ransom the Mad King, is here. And we're going to do some wrestle talk, allegedly. Got to get that in there for my tag team partner, allegedly. One thing I do want to talk about, boys, is I know we probably don't want to spend too much time on it, but I feel like there are a few things that we need to touch on with the Extreme Rules pay-per-view that just happened.
Bullshit. We're going to talk about why Kenny Omega is the greatest wrestler on the planet right now.
Yeah, we could talk about that, but I do have a question.
Yeah, we can talk about it, but we can talk about Extreme Rules. It was extremely meh.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Unless I missed something, and granted, I wasn't paying a complete and full and utter attention, and I was also intoxicated. So there is a good possibility that I missed a few things. But this pay-per-view was titled Extreme Rules. Was there just one Extreme Rules match on this pay-per-view?
Well, the United States title match was a three-man, so that inherently carries no countouts or disqualifications.
Yeah, but that was just a triple threat match, though. Like, it wasn't a triple threat Extreme Rules match. It was just a triple threat match, right?
Yep.
Okay, and let me just go ahead and point this out. In the only Extreme Rules match that took place on this Extreme Rules pay-per-view, we saw... did we see tables?
No.
Okay, didn't see tables. We did see a single kendo stick.
That was a question because I didn't watch past the abysmal reckoning of Charlotte. So
okay, so we saw a kendo stick. We saw a bundle of kendo sticks. We saw people fight in the crowd.
Yes.
We saw somebody get speared through a barricade.
Yes.
I don't really know though if. Oh no, there was a table, wasn't there? Because didn't somebody get put through a table? Yeah. So there was a table. Whenever I think Extreme Rules, those bundle of words there, I don't think single kendo stick, bundle of kendo sticks, spear through a barricade, and a table. Like that doesn't jump out at me as extreme. That's like that's a mildly hardcore-ish. No I would more classify that as a no disqualification match, not an Extreme Rules match. That's my own prejudice aside, but I wanted to talk about that. And two, did they ever follow up on the mysterious ring collapsing that caused the Demon to lose that match? Or did that just happen and then we're not going to talk about it?
You want to know the theory on that?
Well, I want to know if they actually explained it first, and if they didn't, then yes, I want to know the theory.
Beef.
Oh, I don't watch the programming.
Oh, great.
Wow, this
So
is
anybody out there that listens to the podcast, if they explain why, please let us know.
I watch it, but I don't listen. I have everything on mute because I'm doing other things. But, I don't. They could fucking make any explanation in the world, and it's not enough to explain why the hell they did what they did.
So yeah, this was the Demons' first loss.
This is supposed to be the good show. This is supposed to be the happy, upbeat show of the week, and you're already pissing on my Wheaties.
No, I'm asking. We didn't talk about Extreme Rules. We can get upbeat. This gentleman could turn his radio down in his PT Cruiser because nothing says gangsta like a PT Cruiser. We'll talk about happier things and why Kenny Omega is the greatest wrestler on the planet. But there's two things that I just had questions about on the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. A, not really an Extreme Rules match. B, why was it called Extreme Rules if there was only one, let's say, no DQ match? It wasn't really extreme. And two, something weird and goofy and supernatural happened. Turnbuckle collapses. Demon falls down. Demon loses match. Just don't talk about it anymore? Is that where we're at here? You said that there's a theory on that. I'd love to hear it.
Let's see what you're thinking.
So the theory, it's kind of a goof, and I like it a lot. The goof is that a while ago Finn Balor said he wasn't done with John Cena, and John Cena was the one who got up there and disconnected the ring rope, and you didn't see him because he's John Cena.
Here's what I'm thinking. Miro has been referring to himself before he lost the title as God's favorite champion. After the turnbuckle collapsed, actually after the match, Roman Reigns immediately pointed to the sky and looked up as almost to say thank you. Somewhere in my mind, I gotta believe that Vince McMahon is I'll show you who God's favorite champion is, Roman Reigns. Ha ha.
Oh, fantastic.
I mean, that's completely unsubstantiated. That's a beef conspiracy theory at its best. But I mean,
getting a little tinfoil hattie
it's not
on
far
us.
off. No, it's not far off though. I wouldn't put it past Vince McMahon to go, see?
Gay frogs aside, it's still why are we? I don't know why should I be surprised that something fucky would happen? I almost would have rather just had Roman really beat the demon clean, not a fucky rope collapsing fucking bullshit, whatever the fuck happened.
No!
I heard about it. I mean, if he's gonna lose one way or the other, fuck it. I don't care. Don't sit there and try to spoon feed me a spoonful of shit and tell me it's fucking chocolate pudding. No.
Okay. So
I would rather have the demon not have been in that match.
Yeah,
there's that too.
Bingo. If you're gonna have Finn Balor lose, have Finn Balor lose as Finn Balor, not as the fucking prince.
Oh, no, I
as
agree
the
with
demon.
Listen, this is the common sense. This is that duh moment. No shit, I would have rather not had the demon in there at all. But I'm saying for what we fucking got, we knew we were getting a shit sandwich. Well, fucking here it is. Don't try to fucking fancy it up and be like, oh well the rope collapsed or what. But no, just get it over with.
Well, they did it. They fancied it up real good.
And now he's been drafted to Raw. So They pulled him from NXT.
Yeah, so now we forget that he even existed on SmackDown. Oh, well, they'll never remember that goldfish brains. Ha ha.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what they did after he became the first ever Universal Champion.
Yep.
Got hurt, and then they were like, all right, they'll forget about him. We'll bring him back into mid-card obscurity. They'll forget about him.
They pull him up from NXT, a highly successful NXT run, another highly successful NXT run.
Yep.
Put him in the main event scene immediately. A lot of people are like, oh, that's a surprise. And then have John Cena take his place, and people are like, oh, okay. There you go. There it is.
There's no surprise there. Yeah.
And then you have him eat his first pin as the demon ever.
I don't. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if the demon persona had ever lost it all.
I think he lost the first time to Samoa Joe as the Demon. I think.
No. Didn't he as the Demon? Didn't he lose to Brock Lesnar in Tokyo?
Was he the no? No, he didn't. Brock Lesnar faced the New Day in Tokyo.
Okay, I could have swore there was. I could have swore there was one.
The
point
Demon has
where
never faced Brock Lesnar.
The Demon's never faced Brock Lesnar. Okay.
Nope.
That was
I
just
mean-
Finn Balor as Finn Balor.
Okay. I mean, I granted that even in that match, like I mean that was one of those like that was a good way of showing that you don't have to go over to get over. Like Finn still got over in that match. Even though he didn't go over, like he fought amazingly, in that match with Brock Lesnar, and there was a couple moments where you actually really thought, like, oh my God, they might actually have Finn win. You never know, and then Brock Lesnar did Brock Lesnar things, whatever. In the case of this, yeah, I would have much rather have just not had the Demon persona. He did
brought lose
out for this.
Samoa Joe, by the way.
Did he? Okay, was that whenever he lost the title then,
The
or
NXT title to him, yes, in a cage match.
so regardless, they've for a long time they've done a good job of protecting the Demon persona. But why fucking shit on it now? I'll tell you why. What did we say before about Vince McMahon and his view on NXT? Same thing with Karrion Kross as the NXT champion coming up and fucking losing to Jeff Hardy in 90 seconds. Vince doesn't give a shit about NXT, and he wanted to put them in their place, saying, you know what? I'm God around here, and NXT is just a stepping stone to my main roster, and go fuck yourself. That's what I think.
I don't understand why they pull him from NXT to put him in a faux program with Roman Reigns.
And why
have Roman Reigns beat him and then like shuffle him to Raw. None of this makes any sense to me.
And also, nobody else to do anything. Nobody else to feed to him.
And also, why whenever they pulled him from NXT up to SmackDown, why did they have him go back to like happy white meat babyface Finn Balor? Why did they not keep the same edgy Prince Finn Balor that we saw down in NXT, where you didn't need the Demon persona? Like
you answered that question yourself already because you said they don't give a shit about NXT.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why.
Because
I know.
Clearly NXT is not successful at all, ever. Never has been successful, never will be successful unless Vince McMahon changes it by his own hand.
And then he will just deem it successful.
Oh,
because
you know
it's not up against anything now, so now of course it's going to be a success because when you're running unopposed, you always win.
Well, I mean, I'm really glad. I'm really glad that unsuccessful brand that bailed them out in the 11th hour whenever fucking Vince's people were stuck over in Saudi Arabia from the stupid fucking Blood Money show, bailed them out. I'm really glad that unsuccessful no group of misfit talents fucking can't do anything for him. Go fuck yourself, Vince. God, I'm
done with it.
I'm already angry.
Dynamite was amazing last night, guys. I mean, it like from start to finish. I'm done with WWE. We talked about it on WWE.
We're done.
God.
Let's talk about happy things.
Start to finish, the anniversary show. 2 years, guys, that AEW's been around. It's crazy. Start to finish was a killer night.
Is this 2 years of Dynamite or 2 years of AEW?
2 years of Dynamite.
Wow.
Already. Holy crap. That flew by.
Yeah, I know, right? Because, everything is kind of fucky since we had, like,
COVID
the year.
that.
The year of COVID. So, I mean, we often forget, I myself included, I'm like, wow.
Yesterday was 1 year since Eddie Van Halen passed away.
I know. I saw that come up on my newsfeed, too. And I'm like, damn, that's right. Like,
but yeah, man.
Wait, hold on.
No, he's just trolling. Calm down.
Yeah, happy stuff. Happy fucking stuff, plebs.
Whoa!
So,
Beef came into the second episode just swinging for the fences, calling us plebs and stuff. Who do you think you are, Jim Cornette? Calm down.
You're not a fucking champion at all, Beef.
Motherfucker Goldberg.
So they replaced you as a co-cruiserweight champion, you schmuck.
Had the best. I'll go out on a limb. All due respect to Brody Lee and his memory. the best TNT title match I've seen with Sammy Guevara and Bobby Fish.
Fair
Had
enough.
a really good match with Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida that ended kind of a twist, and then the return and
Well-
the triumph, the triumph of Hangman Page. I mean, everything's ticking upward, man.
Well, hold on. What happened? What happened with the interesting twist? Because like Ransom, I don't get to watch the weeklies. Me no cable. Me no fucking watch TV. So
I'm gonna truncate here because I assume that people do watch the shows if they're listening. But basically,
don't assume
Shida.
anything, beef. Don't assume
Well,
anything.
that's fair. But Shida was up for her 50th win, allegedly. The internet says otherwise, but she was up for her 50th win, and they had this like little like glass trophy. It was something, I don't know, faux glass, I don't know. But this little like fucking award for her 50th win to be the first woman to hit 50 wins on the roster
Okay.
against Serena Deeb, and it was almost kind of like, assumed that she was going to beat Deeb, and then Serena Deeb made her tap out last night in a really good match, and then broke the
Oh.
trophy over her and everything. So
Oh, nice.
I have a
yeah,
question.
so yes,
You said you did talk real quick about this on the last show, but I would like if you could give me a little bit more detail, if there is any to give. Whenever you mentioned the TNT title match with Sammy Guevara and Bobby Fish debuted on this Dynamite. Is that correct?
that is correct, and he is after the show last night. They officially announced he is part of the roster.
Okay, so all right, so I think, and this is where I got confused because I'm old and easily confused. You said, I think on the last episode, Bobby Fish is all elite. That just means that he's signed with AEW. That doesn't mean he's part of the elite, or is he?
No, he
No.
is. He's signed with AEW. Whenever they sign somebody, they say so and so is all elite.
Right.
So, like,
I
whenever they
wanted
put
to
it
make sure that he
social
didn't
media.
join.
Right.
Like, I didn't know
No.
if you like rejoined Adam Cole and.
Not yet, but whenever the Super Click breaks off from the Elite, that's certainly a nice looking landing spot for him, is it not? And then
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say they announced the second women's title last night, a mid card women's title. That's
Oh.
Uncharted
Really?
Water Boys. Yeah, the TBS title, which looks like the TNT title except for it has the TBS logo on it and has a blue championship banner at the bottom. I
Okay.
like it. People shitting all over it because they're like, oh, blah blah blah, unoriginal blah. I like it.
If you have a picture of it, or well, I guess I could just like Google it right now myself. I was gonna ask you to show me a picture.
I like the corporate synergy. I like the fact that it mirrors the TNT title. The TNT title is the mid card for the guys, and the TBS is the mid card for the women. And I think it's a great thing to do.
I
then,
really like the whole mid card women's title
Yeah,
because, at least as far as I can remember, and Beef is definitely the title aficionado here, so you can absolutely correct me if I'm wrong, which I usually am. But there hasn't been a mid card women's title before, has there? There's just been the women's or the divas or the women's tag team. There hasn't been a.
yep. This is
mid-card.
uncharted waters for everybody, but basically with
Ooh,
Stardom.
nice.
Stardom, but I mean, Stardom is a women's only promotion, so obviously they're
Sure.
gonna have mid-card titles. But yeah, otherwise, any other, as far as I know, as far as I am recollecting, there's never been a mid-card women's title anywhere else on the planet.
Okay,
Or if there has been, it's very well buried.
I'm seeing the pictures of it. It's fine. I mean,
I like it.
yeah.
Like it
There's nothing
mirrors
wrong.
the TNT title.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it at all.
I like that. I think that's a smart play.
Well, and also I think it also goes to show the fact that now granted WWE arguably has since corrected their transgressions whenever they had something as butterflies and pink with the Divas title. I kind of like in the sense that the TBS championship mirrors the TNT in the fact that the TBS title could be essentially a men or a women's title just from the looks of it. You know what I mean? And I think,
so
and I
are we
think
thinking intergender?
No, not necessarily. I wasn't going to go that far, but that's a whole nother road. That's a whole nother avenue we could go down. But more so, what I was getting at is that the fact that there's not this like delineation of like, oh well, that looks like a quote unquote women's title. Like it shows to me
Didn't
that
girl it up.
Yeah, they didn't girl it up. It shows to me that they respect both the men and women of their roster equally and stuff like that. That's all I was gonna say. It's just it seems it seems good. It's very it's like Ransom said. It's not girled up. It's not overly feminized or anything like that. And that's good to see. I'm glad about that.
Well, let's not beleaguer the fact though that the big butterfly divas belt.
Yeah.
That did one or two women wrestlers aside, that mirrored the women talent that WWE was pushing at that time.
Absolutely. Yep. It did. Absolutely.
It mirrored it. Let's, and again, this isn't a slight to any gender. It's at that point in time, WWE cared more about tits and ass than they did about women performing in the ring. All they cared about was, hey, let's stroll these people out for the guys and get some TNA money.
Yeah.
Not Impact money. You know.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, the night concluded with the return of Hangman, and he won the Casino ladder match, meaning that he has a shot at Kenny Omega sometime in the future. So last night's Dynamite was absolutely great, and a lot of good things are coming.
Giggity.
I gotta believe, gentlemen, that Wyndham has got to be one of those names that's got to be coming. I keep seeing Impact pop up. I keep seeing Impact pop up for him. And yes, I know that Impact would give him absolute creative control and let him get fucking as weird as he wants to with it, which would be great.
Oh, Impact would.
But man, like
that's a star that needs to shine somewhere where you have shining stars.
Yes, that would be great for the 12 people that watch Impact on the weekly. But and again, I understand that we're in we are in a unprecedented time where people from Impact are showing up on TN or on AEW. That people from AEW are showing up in New Japan. That people in New Japan are showing up in Impact. So like this is like 100% unprecedented. Like this has never happened before. And may never happen again. This may be just a weird, like, nexus of wrestling universe, except for WWE.
The nexus is back.
Oh no, the core.
There's.
I'll be your end of days.
Okay.
I have a question for you, three mooks.
Yeah.
I heard, and I didn't hear. I read somewhere a wrestling conspiracy theory that WWE's, and this kind of harkens back, if you haven't listened to the previous episode, go listen to that, where I think it was Tom had referenced, people getting written off of TV due to this, that, or the other thing. And I think it was also Tom that had mentioned that, and again, I apologize, correct me if I'm wrong, that Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, had taken Brody Lee's death very hard and was, struggling to kind of cope with that.
Yeah.
So you are correct. I did mention that, and yes, that's what I've heard.
Gotcha. So the conspiracy theory that I read was that the Fiend isn't going anywhere. He's still with WWE. This whole release thing is a little bit of an excuse to give him time off. They have no intention of letting him go. They have all the intentions in the world of bringing him back to TV whenever he is well and ready. And that was just a thing because so many people have gone and jumped ship to Impact or AEW that have been released. And this is just all mind games on the side of WWE, and the Fiend really isn't going anywhere. Again, internet conspiracy theory, but I wanted to kind of get your reactions to that on whether or not you think, oh, that's a possibility, or nope, that's utter bullshit. It has no legs whatsoever.
All right, so since I'm probably the one that reads like the least amount of dirt sheet stuff, let me lead off if you don't mind. The only problem I see with that is two things. One, well, I guess maybe this one could lend itself to that point. One, I don't know what the hell they did with Alexa Bliss's character after that Charlotte match or whatever. It seemed like, the whole thing with Lily, being torn apart, whatever. I don't know where the fuck they're going with Alexa, and if like she's still going to be spooky hoochie witchy mama, or not.
Voodoo Mama Juju.
Yeah, Voodoo Mama Juju. I was just watching that episode the other day. I don't know if they're going to still have her move forward with that, or if she's going to be quote unquote released from the clutches of the Fiend, and then the Fiend himself will come back. Maybe not. I don't know. But the thing that I heard, the one thing I did see in dirt sheets was supposedly, and I don't remember if we talked about this on a previous episode or not, but supposedly there was something with Wyndham Rotunda's contract that they were going to possibly give him the option to waive his 90-day no-compete clause. But if he waived it, he wouldn't get paid for those 90 days. And then that way, like, he could just go wherever. But if he...
Oh, go on. I'm sorry.
But if he still wrote out the 90-day no-compete clause, like they... obviously they still pay him or whatever during that time while he's like quote unquote released, like that's his severance or whatever. But you still have that 90-day no compete clause, and then he can go wherever, because he was officially named as released. And I'm not smoking crack, right? Like he was.
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, yeah.
They announced that he was released, but
like, okay, that's what I'm getting at. So they've already announced it. So I would have a problem buying into that conspiracy theory that they're just playing mind games, going to have him come back, because like I also mentioned in the last episode, WWE isn't really doing anything like super groundbreaking and super crazy that makes you go, oh my God, I didn't see that coming, or oh wow, did you look at that? No, they're like on fucking coast mode. So like, I don't see Vince and creative and whoever fucking coming up with that decision to be like, all right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say it's released, but then we're gonna swerve him. No, he doesn't give a shit. He, again, like Ransom mentioned before, if it's not Vince's brainchild and somebody gets over on their own organically, like a la a Fiend, a la Zack Ryder, and to a degree Daniel Bryan, aka Bryan Danielson, Vince doesn't see the value in it, or it's a fucking ego thing, and he goes, well, it wasn't my creation that got over. Screw him. We're going to put the screws to him, and we're going to bury the piss out of him.
So, Poots, Beef, what do you guys think? Do you concur with Tom?
Beef, you go ahead first. I need to mull.
No, he's released. He ain't coming back. Why would you? Like, Bray Wyatt came to them and said, hey, I have this gold egg. And they're like, okay, let's put it on the mantle. And they did for a little bit. And then they're like, we're hungry. Let's make some scrambled eggs. Bray Wyatt said, okay. He came and said, hey, I've made another gold egg. And they're like, oh, sweet. Another one. Great. We'll put that back up on the mantle. They get hungry, have some more screw. And then for a third time, he comes to them and says, hey, I have another golden egg. And for a third time, they say, yeah, let's go ahead and make this a big deal until it's not, until we get hungry. Why the hell, if you're Wyndham Rotunda, would you want to be anywhere near that, other than gajillions of dollars? And maybe he's a money man. I don't know. Maybe Wyndham Rotunda wants all the money for him and JoJo's babies. But at the end of the day, if it's me, and I'm getting anywhere near comparable offers from any other outlet in the world, I'm going, yeah, you know what? I'll take a chance with B or C because A can suck my A.
But now, though, I agree with everything you're saying there.
I
However,
see what you did there.
this article was saying that he's not technically released. Like the whole like release thing is a ploy. He's still
I don't think so.
technically with WWE. They're just playing this whole released angle until either he's ready or they're ready to bring him back to TV. So
I don't think
it's not
that's
kayfabe released. It's
Well, it sounds like it sounds like the article saying that it is kayfabe release, that the release didn't actually happen.
Yeah, the release didn't actually happen. They're just using that as a storyline plot.
I don't
So
think they
you don't
can
think that
do
that's
that.
a thing that they would do?
I don't think that they can do that with a publicly traded company.
Well,
I may be wrong.
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, but
okay.
And plus the
Like for
plus the
shareholder
Tom's
reasons
point,
and things like that.
Yeah, and plus to Tom's point, if Vince is all AEW is not a real competitor, why would he give them the time of day and do this kind of thing?
Yeah,
he is not
that's
with
a
it
good
enough.
point.
No one on the staff, and even if someone on the staff did have the cojones to say to him, "We should do this," he's not going to listen to them because he's too damn stubborn. So,
Oh, okay.
I think that somebody's just working that up to. I think he debuts at Rebel at Full Gear in November.
Really?
If we're being honest, I think he does. Yes, sir.
Now, after Poot's point, I have a question about this whole situation. Poot, what do you think about this?
I think that Wyndham Rotunda would be foolish to buy into more WWE stuff. I'm sorry. I know it sounds terrible, and I really, really, really hope that he has more sense than to believe them for a fourth time. Seriously, I mean, yeah, you know, he could go anywhere else. People would look at him and go, "We've got you. We've got you. Like, we see what you can do. We see what you're about. We see what you're capable of. We want to let you do you."
Boo-boo.
And, you know, I think it would not behoove Wyndham Rotunda to buy into WWE nonsense anymore. And I think he's smart enough to see the writing on the wall. Let's hope that that's the case. Let's hope this isn't just a play because, I mean, you know, and this is me always kind of looking on the bright side of things, as is tradition. I think it is a possibility in a very long shot, but I think it's a possibility that Wyndham, like all the things that happened with like the whole thing with like Alexa Bliss coming out with Inky Magoo coming out of her head out of the box and everything like that was part of the shtick. I do. I think it's like it could be part of the shtick. And maybe it's this long con thing that he has going on. I just don't. I don't know, and that bums me out. What?
I have an explanation for that. I have an explanation for what happened.
What, for Inky Magoo?
Yeah, she was in a real life version of Mario Kart and too far up ahead in the pack.
Yeah, there you go. She had a okay.
Yeah.
No, like, I don't know. I just think.
So basically, our consensus is this article that I read is bullshit.
It could be bullshit. Let's put it that way. It could be bullshit.
If this were the Attitude Era, 100%, that's something that they would pull. Even if this was the Ruthless Aggression Era, I think that that's a possibility. But like right now, with the climate being where it's at, I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Beef. Now I have a question about all this.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Go on.
Anyways, so here's the important question.
Oh, mine wasn't shit then. It was.
Well, no.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're. I never answered those bullshit questions. I got an important one. All right, I got.
I like
Dr.
the fact that we
Finger here.
Well, you know.
Tiger Smash Burger Tom Bomb.
Oh, the old
Wow,
Smash Burger Tom Bomb.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking trademark that.
That's a
Speaking
smash
of which,
burger with a car bomb.
That's a perfect segue there. Speaking of trademarking, does Wyndham Rotunda have the rights to the Fiend character?
Yes.
Or is that WWE owned?
Fuck him. No.
I would be shocked if
Fuck 'em.
WWE did not own that. I'm utterly shocked.
See,
You know what though?
that
Like,
begs an important question, because if I mean, we know what happened with Matt Hardy coming from Impact to WWE. You know, there was that whole big legal battle about him using the broken thing, and then for a while he was woken. So there's that. So are we going to run into that same situation with Wyndham Rotunda if he shows up in AEW or anywhere else, that he's going to,
I've said it before, man. You could call that package pretty much anything on AEW or Impact, and it's going to be a success. Oh, here comes the Monster Man. Doesn't fucking matter. If he gives off the same vibes or creepier that he
Spoopy
did in
Ooba Booba.
WWE, yeah, exactly. Here comes Spoopy Uba, but it doesn't fucking matter. Like, if he's crawling out to the ring boogeyman style and fucking like blood is gushing out of it, it doesn't matter what you call him.
Let's call it the boogeyman. Fuck yes.
You know,
So, I'm sorry, Beef. No, I'm not interrupting. You go ahead. I want to say something when you're done, but you go ahead.
no,
I'm the
I
Spooky
was
Man, and I'm coming to
I
get
was-
ya.
just gonna say you can own a name, but like same as like when Hulk Hogan went to WCW, he was still the Hulkster. Like, even if they would have copyrighted Hulk Hogan, when the Dudley Boys, they were still the Dudley Boys in Impact. They were just Team 3D.
The Budley
you can-
Boys.
you can
Excuse me.
you can own names.
Oh.
You can own names, but I mean you can't own images.
The thing that I think about when I think of Wyndham Rotunda, as creative as that man is, part of me almost thinks like if he does come to AEW, or even if he goes to Impact, I think wherever he goes, I would not be shocked. Success of the Fiend aside, success with the fans of the Fiend aside, Wyndham Rotunda strikes me as the type of guy who, if he's going to go somewhere, he's going to go, okay, you know what? Clean slate. I'm creative enough that I don't need to fall back on one of these previous gimmicks that I did, even if I'm going to call it something different. Even if I call it Spoopy Uba Booba, and I'm still like, quote unquote, the Fiend type guy, mask, spooky, lantern, rocking chair, rawr. He almost strikes me as a guy where wherever he shows up, he's going to have a completely different character. I don't know if he'll call himself Wyndham Rotunda or he'll call himself something else, but I don't know that he'll fall back onto that previous gimmick. I think he's creative enough and smart enough that he can say, oh, nope, he's not going to say that. He's going to say, you know what? I don't need one of these previous things. I got a million ideas in the bucket that are home runs, and maybe he just goes completely in an opposite direction and does something completely different. Do you think that is a possibility, or do you really think that we're going to see some iteration of Spoopy Uba Booba?
I think we're going to see some iteration of Spooky Uba Booba, and I wouldn't mind if he did come to AEW, if he joined not like make a full-on stable, because the last thing AEW needs is more stables. But
Dear Lord, does he take over for Brody Lee in the Dark Order?
No. I wasn't going to go that way. I was going to say him and Malachi Black.
That could be an interesting team together.
Just not have any like big State of the Union address where they talk about what they're doing or anything. Just have them be a thing together and be creepy, spooky Uba Booba.
I don't care where Wyndham Rotunda signs, whether it's Impact, AEW, New Japan, AAA, I don't care if they revive Lucha Underground and he comes back for them. As long as I get a 20-minute promo between him and CM Punk, I'm happy. Can you imagine those two, like fucking verbal heavyweights going back and forth on the mic, man? That gets my fucking wrestling boner salivating.
You could draw. Oh,
Jolly.
you
and
could
your
probably
Rogers.
draw out a program with those two for probably a couple of months without either one of them stepping into the ring physically with each other.
Yep.
And it would still be captivating. I think people would still be set, like Beef said, not wrestling boner hard, but I think people would be salivating to see what these two are going to do verbally with each other next week and the week after and the week after. Like, I don't think they have to have a constant in-ring physical program. They could probably draw it out with just verbal exchanges for a few months, culminating in one match, and that's it. And I think it could be amazing.
Well, and here's the thing: you're probably correct in that, and it all goes back to what we continuously have been saying for a while since AEW has taken off, from the beginning to now, is allowing performers, allowing these wrestlers to have some modicum of creative freedom, in the fact that. Look at what happens in the past. Now, granted, this is like the fucking this is the exception to the rule back in the day in WCW or whatever. But look at what Chris Jericho was able to do way back in the day, whenever he basically created a fucking program and carried all the promo weight himself whenever it was supposed to be him and Goldberg. He had the whole roof.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All that shit. Like, that was
But it was never supposed to be him and Goldberg, though. Like, Jericho made it him and Goldberg. That was never supposed to see the light of day. It was only because
that was just
Jericho had no idea what the fuck they were doing.
That was Jericho riffing. He went out there and he's like, fine, no one's paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm going to put myself in a top spot.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that he's someone, and now, I mean, he's one of, if not the greatest, like,
he's a
of
goat.
all time. He's a goat. He is somebody. He's a shining example of somebody with creative chops, allowed to work at their to their own devices and stuff like that. Well, now you have somebody like Wyndham Rotunda, who is creatively gifted, and somebody with CM Punk, who is also creatively gifted. People that get and CM Punk gets the business. I mean, like, not only from the creative aspect and not only from the in-ring aspect, but he's somebody who, by all accounts, like, was under the tutelage of Paul Heyman. Whenever he says he's a Paul Heyman guy, like, it's true. Like, he showed up and was learning the behind the scenes stuff and stuff like that too with Paul, like, as as far as production and things like that, because he wanted to kind of get a know for everything, get a little bit of a feel for everything, if by all accounts, if that's all to be believed. So when you have two creative minds like that, people that get the business, the possibilities are endless. And I love the idea that I love the notion that we're able to sit here and speculate that, because you have a company like AEW who fosters this creativity, who nurtures it, and who allows it to prosper. And and if something doesn't work, okay, well, just go back to the drawing board. We'll figure something out. It's a trial and error process. But the fact that they're having so much success already in they just had their 2-year anniversary show, like, so much success, and the fact that they're hanging and banging with a juggernaut that's WWE, regardless if you think if the two are competition or not, you better fucking believe they are, because the fact that Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, said it best. He loved where he worked in WWE, but he still wanted to come to AEW. That right there tells you how great of an environment it must be there. And by all accounts, what all the other wrestlers have said, like, how different it is from anywhere that they've ever been, whether it be WWE or wherever else. They said of how great of an environment it is there behind the scenes and in the locker room and everything like that. It blows my mind just thinking about all the different possibilities that are out there, and I'm here for it.
So listen, speaking of fostering creativity, I believe we have a Stump the Chumps. Is that right?
We do, in fact, from our main man, the mid-card maniac, the XFL leading mid-card maniac. Congratulations, Pat, so far in a great season. Throw that in there for you. Actually, I'm sorry, it's formerly the XFL, now it's the Golden Eagle Football League. Anyway, yes.
Football?
Yes,
Sports
yes, sir.
ball.
Sports ball.
Here,
Hey, Beef.
simple, yeah.
Here's the Stump the Chump question for you. What do you think the Steelers' chances are this Sunday?
Facing the Broncos,
Yeah.
they might actually win this one.
1 point favorites.
Anytime they're a favorite, I don't know, man.
It's ball.
It's a toss up. It depends on who's healthy for the defense, and it depends on how the offensive line plays. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll 1 point favorites. I would take the Broncos to cover that spread. All right. So the Stump the Chumps question would be from Midcard Maniac himself, Pat Shannon, who were the final champions in ECW when it originally closed in 2001.
Didn't
So
we
this is
have this
before-
question before?
No, not.
Maybe, but it's been a while.
I don't know if it was this exact same one, but it sounds familiar. But this is okay. This would be before. Yeah, this would be before the Invasion pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
Wait,
the
so
final champions.
This would be. Yeah, this would be before the iteration of the WWE branded ECW or WWE quote unquote owned ECW.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
So I think Taz was on top. And here's why. Here's why. I remember there was a time where Mike Awesome was signed to WCW, but he was still the ECW champion. And he faced Taz, who was contractually obligated to WWE. And Taz won the ECW title. And it was the first time that it ever happened, where a WCW contracted wrestler faced a WWE contracted wrestler for the ECW title.
EC. So all right. So wait, we've got ECW, the ECW television,
Yep.
Yes, and
And
tag.
the tag team. So there was
Yes.
only 3.
Yes.
Right.
See,
All right.
I'm thinking the champion. I'm thinking it was like Sandman or Steve Corino or Rhino or someone like that.
I honestly
Jerry-
think it
maybe
might.
Rhino was gone by then. Rhino was gone by then.
No,
It may
here's
have
the
been
thing.
Dreamer.
Rhino wasn't though.
I was about to say I think it was Dreamer because the match that you were talking to,
Oh.
where it was where Taz was contracted with WWE, he came back at they allowed him to go as a favor to go do this. I think Taz, if I'm not mistaken, Taz came back for that, won, and then Dreamer or somebody else came out and beat Taz.
I don't know if it was that same night, but yeah, I think
it was. No, I think it was. Whatever happened, I think it happened.
It wasn't Dreamer.
Was it Raven?
No.
Who the fuck was it?
Like
There
the
was
last
somebody.
night you're talking about?
I'm not talking about the last night. I don't know about that. I'm talking about last champion. It wasn't Dreamer. It wasn't Raven. I think Poot is onto it. I think it's Rhino.
Because Rhino had gone back because he had gone to WWE and then come back, hadn't he?
Reno.
Rhino.
I don't remember.
I don't. That's a sketchy time frame because I do remember Rhino being around.
Okay, here's a question. When did Taz start going on commentary?
I don't know.
That was after the Invasion angle.
Yeah, well after.
Okay.
He was an in-ring performer before, or
Right.
as the Invasion happened. So he was commentator after Invasion.
Okay.
It wasn't Taz.
Okay.
I'm with Poot. I think it was Rhino.
I
really do. I mean, but
yeah.
people can convince me otherwise. That's fine.
No.
I know. RVD was TV champion for a whole hell of a long time too.
Going back to the heavyweight title, regardless, you might be right. I'm just thinking, regardless of who the final champion was, I think that the thing that Beef was talking about when Taz came back and did that match, I don't think that was the very last thing.
It wasn't.
But I am curious, and now I'm gonna have to after we get done with this, I'm gonna have to
So I think you're right. I don't think it was Taz. I think it did exist after that. I I feel like, and I could be way off base here, but I feel like when the invasion happened, the only two new ECW originals that showed up were Dreamer and RVD.
No, because at the WrestleMania pay-per-view, like before the invasion angle officially started,
Yes,
that's when you
WrestleMania 17.
saw. That's when you first saw, like ECW guys
No.
or previously ECW guys show up. Like that's when Rhino
No.
showed up.
WCW
in the-
guys.
TLC or whatever. Poot.
What?
Hold on. There you go. Like that's you saying that confirms what I'm thinking, that Rhino was long gone. Because you're 100% right. Rhino had been around for a while because he was Edge and Christian's boy. Because the Dudleys had Spike, the Hardys had Lita, and Rhino. Yes, so and WrestleMania 17 was 2001. So I will go out on a limb and say I am fucking certain it was not Rhino.
But now listen though, WCW and ECW closed doors at different times. ECW
Yes.
closed up shop first.
Yes, but Rhino had been around like maybe a year prior. Rhino was around when the Hardcore Champion was he part of the Hardcore Battle Royal in WrestleMania 20 or WrestleMania 16? He may have been.
What year was that?
2000.
I don't think he was.
Yeah, but when was that?
2000.
Well, WCW.
That was
ECW closed up shop in 2000.
2001.
No.
That's not what Pat's email says. Pat's email says who were the final champions in ECW when it originally closed in 2001?
All right, so they may have closed in 2001, but as far as actual ECW TV, where they were wrestling on TV, I think that was 2000.
But what I'm saying is, I think Rhino was around longer than just like 6 months. I think he was around for maybe even several, like 2 or maybe 2 years at that point in WWE, maybe a year.
So the thing that's sticking to my mind in here, and Poot, since you were onto the whole Rhino thing to begin with, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Rhino the last TV champion as well as the last ECW champion?
That I can't confirm. But
So Rhino did have a bit where he was both. Yeah, you are 100% right.
But
Oh,
yeah, no,
fuck, you might be right, Ransom.
and that's the thing is that like the reason that I brought up Rhino and like Steve Corino and that is because in the late times of ECW, they were really leaning on Sandman and Corino, and then when Rhino came back, they treated him like he was like a rock star. They did. They treated him like he was like the end all be all.
So I was thinking like that Rhino was a double champion, that he had both belts at one point. Ransom saying that just affirmed that. I feel like it was. It may have been Rhino. I'll walk it back a little bit, and I'll say it may have been Rhino. I
don't know.
If I'm not
Something is
mistaken-
striking me as Rhino as being both, and I think around the time where he was both ECW World Champion and ECW Television Champion, I think that was like the last of it. The last of as far as like on ECW TV or ECW pay-per-view or whatever.
Well, to your point, saying whenever the doors closed in 2001, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it August 26th, 2001, whenever ECW closed shop?
I have
no idea.
I'm almost positive that was the date.
Okay, so let's move forward with the working theory that Rhino was the TV and heavyweight champion with the ability to come back and revisit. Who then would be the tag team?
Oof.
Now, the bulk of the established, well-known tag teams, I feel, were gone.
What about
So I remember very vehemently
the Impact
in the latter
players?
days. No. Oh, maybe.
Who?
But the Impact players, Just Incredible and Lance Storm.
Okay.
But I remember Tommy Dreamer and Raven coming back and beating the Dudley Boys for the titles. And I remember that was a big deal because Raven and Tommy Dreamer hated each other. They were like, blood feud after blood feud. So the fact that they like worked in concert to beat the Dudleys was a big deal. Now I don't know if they held those titles. Like I don't remember when that happened. Like the Dudleys may have been on like a loan visa, like Taz was from WWE, and they were like temporary champions to lose. I don't remember exactly how that went down. The Impact players are certainly a good choice, Poot.
I feel like it was somebody obscure that I don't really ever remember hearing of again.
Was it Mikey Whipwreck and Cactus Jack?
No, I've heard of them. I don't know. I think they were obscure to me. Maybe they wrestled somewhere else under different names, but I don't remember. Because I think I'm thinking back to that History of ECW DVD set or whatever that. I think it was Beefs, and then I watched it a whole big bunch. They were, I don't know. Was Roadkill a guy?
Yeah. Yep. Roadkill was the Angry Amish Warrior, and I think he tagged with.
Who did he tag with? Did he have an established like tag team partner?
Yeah, they were. I want to say Tracy Smothers, but I don't think that's it because Tracy Smothers was with the FBI. Danny Doring? No. Who the fuck did Roadkill tag with?
He tagged with Danny Doring.
Was it Danny Doring?
He did.
You think it was those two?
I can't. Oh, that's a loud. Uh-oh.
Motor City Machine Guns?
Hey, look. No, that's somebody in a Volkswagen that thinks that they're in Fast and Furious.
Guten Tag, bitches.
I don't remember those two guys going to like WCW or WWE or showing up anywhere popular after ECW.
They did not.
So I remember Roadkill. If you're saying that, what's the other guy's name?
Danny Doring.
If you're saying that he tagged with Roadkill, then I would say that it's a possibility that it's those two. I don't, at least from that DVD thing that I can remember watching, I don't think it was anybody.
Notable.
Like, I don't think it was like a mainstream person that like they went to WWE and they were like, oh, this is an ECW original that went to WWE.
It wouldn't have been the Impact players because Storm was already at WCW at that point.
That's true. He was doing his title is all the titles thing.
Yeah.
Yep. So it wouldn't have been them. Ransom might be right. Because usually whenever he grabs onto these little nuggets, usually there's some like truth to them. So
I can't keep going with that though, because eventually I'm going to be wrong.
Yeah, but I
don't know about Danny Doring. I have no idea who that is.
He was just a name that I threw out there. But the fact that you like grabbed onto it and you're like, wait, what was that name?
I don't know. I mean, that could have been.
I don't know who Roadkill tagged with. I don't know who he tagged with.
I can't even honestly remember what Roadkill looks like. It's his name.
He was a big dude. He was a big dude, like 6'1" or 6'2". He was like 400 pounds. He wore over like suspenders. He had a big fucking beard. He was Amish.
Oh, okay. I think I might know who you're talking about now. I think I can remember him. I can't picture Danny Doring to save my life.
I think he was just like
confident
a nondescript like guy with like short tights or maybe long tights and like long blonde hair.
Oh. All right. I mean, I'm good with going with those two. I am fairly confident on the Rhinos being the dual champions.
Yeah, I'll go with it. I'll go with it because I didn't.
If I'm wrong, I will happily eat crow and have Pat on the show. I'm fairly confident on the two Rhinos. The other one's a toss-up.
I'm just trying to think who else Roadkill would have tagged with. Poot, you or Pat or Poot or Tom? Do you guys know who? Because like we're deep into the ECW roster at this point with Roadkill and question mark.
Oh.
I think he had chickens with him. I don't know. Maybe not. I think he had a chicken with him.
So here's
Roadkill did.
hold on. Here's my question. As we were talking about all this, and I was trying to think back. Regardless of when ECW closed their doors, there was a period of time where that technically Vince was either like technically bought ECW before it was the quote unquote like WWE rebranded ECW.
He was bankrolling them. Yeah,
he was okay.
Yeah.
He was bankrolling.
It was still
them,
in Paul's name.
Yes.
Yeah, it was in Paul's name, but they weren't. They were on. Weren't they on what? Oh, fuck, what was it? TNN or whatever.
Yes, they were on TNN.
They were the primer program for WWE. As soon as WWE was like, "Oh, hey, we'll go to TNN," TNN dropped ECW like a bad habit, and that's why I've hated fucking Spike TV to this day.
Okay. So with that said, I'm almost certain that you're right on saying that Rhino was the last heavyweight champion. I don't remember if he was the dual champion then or not, but that I'm almost 100% on, because there was like a very, very, like, I barely watched anything on TNN ever, but for some reason that sticks out in my mind.
Here's the only thing that I'll say with the whole Rhino dual champion thing, and then you guys could be right, but I feel like the dual champion was like the build up to Rhino being like the guy in ECW. If this is a situation where he left ECW and then came back after a stint at WWE, I don't think he would have been dual champion then. RVD was in the mix real hard for the TV title, like all the time. I can tell you for a fact. Man, this whole fucking Rhino fiasco has me bothered, because now I'm like questioning all kinds of time frames.
The Rhino fiasco. Poot, do you have any weighing in here?
I've weighed in enough. I've expended my intelligence for the next month.
All right. Let's just chop it off the knees here and say that I'm okay with saying Rhino was the double champion, and then we had Roadkill and probably Danny Doring tag team champions.
I almost said Dustin Doran. That's not a person at all.
All right,
No.
let's go to the tape.
Tom, you cool with
Let's
that?
go to the tape.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Let's find out. All right.
It's not like we're losing on a streak here. If not a decent one if we lose.
He says, if by some miracle I win the Cruiserweight Championship, can I pull champ's prerogative and come on when I want?
No.
First of all, no. Second of all, you didn't win, so shut up. The answer is tag Danny Doring and Roadkill. Fucking A, Ransom. TV and world champion. We're Rhino.
Nice.
Thank you, Poot. Thank you, Poot.
Thank you, Ransom.
Yeah, man. I don't know why Danny Doring fucking stuck in my head with Roadkill. I think it was those miserable ECW games.
Oh, those
They
were bad.
weren't good.
They were not
They
the
weren't
best.
good.
Not the best, gentlemen. But regardless,
Good.
the foursome has triumphed yet again.
I gotta sit down for this, or else I'm gonna be
Do
bulging.
it. 6 to midnight, baby.
Pat, not only did you not win the Cruiserweight Championship, but guess what? You didn't get this one tonight either. So, as per usual, you lose, sir, and you get nothing.
Oh, fuck.
I gotta go shower.
Actually, I do have to go
I'm all
shower.
sweaty.
I'm all sweaty.
Guys, you know what? We always seem to come in on the clutch on the insane ones. We really do.
Dude, I don't know how Ransom got Rhino. I think was a fairly there were some yes, but fucking Roadkill. He just pulls Roadkill out of his ass. Man,
Do I still have your ECW DVDs?
No,
I feel like I watched it in the not too distant past. Like not
I
this
think I
last year,
gave
maybe.
them to Poot, and we did a DVD swap. And then one of my dogs ate like the W because he gave me the
Yep.
WCW DVDs.
Yep.
Oh
And
no!
like they like chewed up the case to it. The DVDs are fun, but they chewed up the case. I'm like, well, we'll just just keep my ECW DVDs. I'll keep your WCW DVDs, and that's that.
He sent that to me, and I was like, "You had one job."
You had one job.
Don't blame me. Blame my stupid parents for not fucking disciplining their damn dogs ever.
Damn.
Bastards.
That's true.
Oh.
Damn.
That's true.
All right.
Hey, you know
Hey.
where we're going next Friday?
Where are you
Where?
going next Friday?
Next Friday, Micah has ninja camp at Taekwondo, or no, ninja Halloween party at Taekwondo. So he's
Ooh.
going there Friday night, and Tara and I are taking Afton, no joke, to Moe's. And you know what they have at Moe's?
What do they have at Moe's, Ransom?
I think Poot knows what they have at Moe's.
Oh, they got burritos at Moe's.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, they do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to the P3 podcast. Go back and listen to our entire library and enjoy all of the Moe's burritos. Hashtag not sponsored.
Oh,
we
how
want
fun
to go
guys.
ahead.
Happen.
Of course, leading off with our very own, a thank you to the sponsors, Mr. Casual Gaming Dad himself, our very own Tiger Bomb Tom. Make sure to go check him out because the streams are always a lot of fun. Playing through Ocarina of Time right now, if you want a little bit of a throwback, like go and look at that. We also play Among Us every Tuesday, so you can listen to all the insanity and yelling and screamies and memings. Yes, sponsor note.
Metroid Dread, that's going to be happening come hell, high water, or broken fucking finger. I'm playing it. So as of this recording, I'll have already started it, but, I'll probably still be playing it this week here as I'll be off work and doing more streaming, gimped up and all.
Gimped
Oh, yes, the GIMP streaming.
and
Yes.
all. And also,
that's on my OnlyFans.
FYI, real quick, I know that we're burrito time, but here's some extra meat for you. Last three ECW champions, you want to guess who they were?
last three ECW champions?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, no way. Was it Sandman, Carino, and Rhino?
Sure fucking was. Carino,
Yeah, Poot.
Sandman, and Rhino.
I told you, man, I know weird, goofy bullshit. That's where I sit. But we want to also thank Gould Gaming, going back to Casual Gaming Dad, Gould Gaming for carrying the Pittsburgh Piledriver podcast t-shirt in Casual Gaming Dad's store. So not only can you get some kick-ass merch that Casual Gaming Dad has, and it's very high quality. I have my own NWO style CGD shirt, and it's very, very good. So you should get one of those too. What?
I'm wearing the official Pittsburgh Piledriver podcast t-shirt at the time of this recording, and it's also amazing high quality.
Listen, man. Listen, man. Whenever you're in a band, you don't wear your own shirt to the show.
Bitch.
But piss and mark your territory like a wolf.
Dennis Leary.
So, thank you very much. Thank you very much to Gould Gaming for letting Casual Gaming Dad have the Pittsburgh Piledriver podcast t-shirt in there. Grab yourself one and grab some awesome merch from Casual Gaming Dad. We also want to thank Frigoff Ransom and our very own Ransom's YouTube channel, That Sweet Boy and his hilarious antics. We also want to thank Mr. Sean Tischler and his work with independent wrestling in the central and surrounding Pennsylvania area. Really thank you, because it's great to see independent wrestling getting kicked back up. We really do need to schedule to go see a show here in the near future, fellas. And we want to just thank you guys for listening. Whoever does listen to us on the regular, we really appreciate it. And we appreciate you putting up with our insanity truly very much. For myself, the Barbarian, Poot the Bard, baby, Mr. Beef the Legend, our encyclopedia of wrestling knowledge and always being the one to kind of guide us through these podcasts. Thank you very much to Mr. Tiger Bomb Tom, lovely boy that he is. And he's putting on those streams with a gimped finger and all. And we also want to thank, of course, one half of the reigning, defending, undisputed Cruiserweight champions, our very own Madman himself, Ransom the Madman. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Yes.
Pain on me, bitch.